Bless everyone. I will allow you all to join. Take your time. We are here for a lovely full moon in Scorpio reading today. And this energy, if you guys have been feeling it, is so intense and so potent and transformative, super transformative. So I'll allow everybody to join and I'll go ahead and get started. So welcome, my name is Rissa Vibes, aka Readings by Rissa, and you are watching a live full moon in Scorpio reading so we can all collectively get in tune and aligned with the full moon in Scorpio this evening and feel into the energy that is being presented to us so that we can navigate that energy and fully feel into it in its purest positive potential during this couple of days where the full moon energy is really potent. And it's so important for us all to know that the full moon energy is not just tonight. It's also over the next couple of days, and it also was over the last couple of days. Full moon energy and any moon energy tends to kind of seep into the other days as well. So we want to make sure that we're aware of that, that you probably have already been feeling a lot of energy and shifts from the full moon experience. So if you have been already, why don't you drop a comment and let me know what you've been feeling. What do you feel like you've already been picking up from the full moon? Let's get a little bit interactive today and collectively share some experiences with our full moon energy today. So I'll tell you first that for me, I know that I've been experiencing a little bit of just preparedness. That's the best way I could say it, is like I feel like I'm getting prepared. Standing champion KR says, I feel joy and balance. Wonderful. Yes. And so like I was saying, I feel prepared. I feel like I've been getting a lot of downloads. I've been getting a lot of messages from spirit. I've also been getting a lot of understanding for all of us from the collective, for the collective, so that I can explain that to you all. I took a lot of notes as well, so that I made sure to be able to share with you all of the big energetic things that I've been receiving for this moon and just the energy going forward. Bobby Bell says, I feel prepared as well. Yes. And there's just this sense of calm, I think. And I will say the last couple of days, there was a little bit of energy, tumultuous energy here and there. But this is pretty normal, especially for full moon. Hey, Christina, hey. And Shadell, hey, girl. All right. Definitely more understanding, she says. Yes, absolutely. More clarity, more understanding, more peace. Yes, standing champion, peace, absolutely. And so we're feeling that essence, and I feel as though this is really important, right? Right before the full moon, a lot of us will feel a little bit of a shift, a little bit of tumultuous energy, a little bit of chaos, and usually that energy is there to show us what we need to release within ourselves or outside of ourselves. So the full moon, any full moon, we're not just talking Scorpio full moon here, we're talking any full moon, is about release and letting go of anything that no longer serves us. The new moon is about bringing in energy and starting anew and starting to create with new energy that we have brought into our life. And the full moon is about releasing anything that isn't serving that new moon creation that we've started, or anything that hasn't been serving in the development of that creation from the beginning of the month or a couple of weeks before. So that can give you kind of an understanding of the processes in which your energy is cycling, and also the processes in which your spirit is bringing you awareness and consciousness in that cycle. So it can be a very nice tool for you to use to clear away things that aren't serving you when you notice that around a full moon. Okay, so let's get into it. I want to talk a lot about this Scorpio full moon. It is a blue moon. They call it a blue moon. I'm not exactly sure why, so if anybody knows why they call it a blue moon, feel free to comment below. I know they always have different names for different moons for different reasons. So a lot of them are dated back to ancient civilization and different calendars, things that we've just acquired and inherited understandings of from cropping and farming, and how they would kind of detail that process around the moon cycles, and they would call it different things based on crops and things. So sometimes you'll hear like flower moon or strawberry moon. A lot of that stuff is about the farming aspect, what was in season during those moons and things like that. But then there's also colors of moons and from other kind of cultures and subcultures that use the moon for different guidance as well. So there's all sorts of name, but for whatever reason they call today's moon, the Scorpio moon, a blue moon. And I think this is really important because we are feeling into transformation, right? We've been feeling this for the past few weeks in all of the weekly readings and the moons. We've been feeling a lot of shifts, and it seems as though, I know for me at least, that we just keep cycling very rapidly, in fact, between new beginnings, new growth, transformation, release. New beginnings, new growth, transformation, release. New beginnings, new growth, transformation, release, right? It's like this constant cycle, and it's happening really fast in all different areas of our life. Sometimes those aspects are overlapping each other in different areas of our life, and it can feel like so much change all the time. Crazy, right? But it's also really refreshing, because if you can remember when we were feeling kind of lull and stagnant and trying to figure out what to do, a lot of that energy that we experienced last year, last fall, this sense of kind of just waiting and just knowing that things weren't working the way we wanted to, and just knowing that there was more for us, and knowing that there was just something else we could do, or ways we could heal, and things that we could really move forward on that we weren't. That was all last fall. And now this spring, we are moving, transformation after transformation, change and shift after shift. So this is a really big moon. Specifically, the Scorpio full moon is a big moon for transformation and rebirth, okay? So we're going right back into transformation and letting go with this full moon in Scorpio. And Scorpio is about death and rebirth. So there's a lot of clearing, there's a lot of endings, there's a lot of letting go that will open us up to new experience and rebirth. A lot of us are releasing energy that no longer serves us, releasing perspectives that no longer serves us, releasing relationships that no longer serve us, and experiences, even experiences of the past that we keep going back to, or keep reflecting on, or keep wondering about, relationships of the past that we keep wondering about, releasing all of that. And it's so important that we are able to acknowledge what it is we're being called to release, because a lot of us get stubborn, right? A lot of us want to pretend like we don't see all the signs that are pointing us in the direction of letting go and clearing away and no longer tolerating certain things, or fueling our belief systems with certain ideas and emotions. So it's important that we take the blinders off, especially for the Scorpio full moon, because it's so potent in energy for transformation and rebirth, that we take those blinders off and we just let the transformation happen, and we follow the signs and synchronicities that are pointing us in the direction to release. Now, I will say that sometimes this can get a little tricky, because you want to dive really deep into the subconscious with the Scorpio full moon. You're not going to always be super conscious of what you need to release right away with this moon, because we have the Pluto influence, which Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is all about the subconscious, what lies underneath the surface. So this is going to require literally a deeper aspect of our reflection and our consciousness, a deeper awareness than what's on the surface. So it might not be completely apparent to you what you need to let go of, or what needs to change, or what's transforming, until you really sit there and meditate, dive into your subconscious, or intend to dream about what it is you need to clear, or ask for a sign that your subconscious can relay to you that will give you an understanding of what your subconscious feels is necessary to release and let go of. That is the biggest part of it, because when we don't focus on that, we tend to just look at the surface, and that's not what the Scorpio full moon is about. And if you look at the surface without looking deeper, you might let go of something that actually you weren't supposed to let go of. I'll tell you a little personal experience. I'm gonna go real personal with it. My partner and I were having some arguments over the weekend and over this last week, and we were feeling really nervous about what that meant for us, because we were really starting to uncover some things that we hadn't really known about ourselves or each other in our entire relationship. We've been together for 2 years. but we've been having some growing pains. That's kind of a growing pain part of the relationship. That 2-year mark is kind of when all the representatives of yourself go away and you really meet that person for real, right? So we were understanding that we had some differences in opinion on some things and differences in experience on some things, and that it was causing us to feel nervous about if we were really meant to continue moving forward in this relationship. And we were really focusing on it in a very conscious way because we didn't want to make a wrong decision. And we love each other so much, but we also love ourselves. So we have to make sure that there is a balance there and that there's love in all areas in that way. Otherwise, you've got to release, right? So long story short, we reflected on this and we really said, okay, let's take some time. He's going out of town this week. So we said, let's take the time that you're going to be out of town to just reflect on this, right? And just to make sure that we really know what we want and we're really sure, because what's on the surface might not be really what's the truth, right? And sometimes you don't get to what the truth is underneath the surface until you take some time apart, or just give yourself a couple of hours to go meditate in the park or go sit in a quiet place and get in touch with your subconscious, apart from the external influence of your partner or the circumstance between you two or that constant energy interaction. And this is for every situation, right? So hopefully you guys can relate to this, right? So yes, so Standing Champion says illusions. Yes, so that is an illusion. So essentially, long story long now, is that we came to the conclusion as soon as he left to where he was traveling to, we literally took one day. It wasn't even a day. It was like 12 hours apart, literally. Just 12 hours apart. Him being in another state and me being home alone for 12 hours literally revealed to both of us the illusion, like Standing Champion said, of that original disagreement, and how that was not what was needed to be concluded, that it wasn't a question on if we needed to stay together and or release the relationship. It was actually what we needed to release within ourselves that was bringing all of that chaos to the surface. What was each of us doing that was causing that chaos, and what were the triggers within ourselves independently that were creating this combative energy, and that created this idea or perspective that we needed to run from the relationship. No, in fact, it was a beautiful experience when we looked back on it, because we realized we love each other so much that we can see each other in our triggered selves, in our least compatible selves, in our most vulnerable selves, and be able to realize and point out to each other in a conscious way that the other person is triggered, and that the other person is going back to reverting back to old experiences and old ways, and that we now need to clear that within each other and ourselves, so that we can have a more in alignment and collective teamwork experience as partners, right? And so it was very eye-opening. So if we wouldn't have gone deeper into the underneath the surface, if we wouldn't have let our subconscious rise to the surface by getting that alone time and giving ourselves some time to reflect personally and spiritually, we never would have gotten to that beautiful realization, and we could have let go of a relationship that was meant to stay together and stay strong and be expressive and expansive, right? So to make it personal, I know a lot of you are probably feeling some relating energy to that. And if you are, feel free to comment. I'm seeing you guys comment and how you're feeling that, and you understand that that's like, it's deep, right? So that's what Pluto is doing for us with this Scorpio full moon. And that's why the Scorpio full moon is so transformative, is because we're going to see some stuff on the surface. We're going to see some things that aren't necessarily aligning, but we got to dig deeper, and we got to find out what the root is, what's really happening within ourselves to cause those issues. And is it something that we can actually shift within ourselves that's going to make us happier anyway, and also going to solve whatever contrast we're seeing. So this is going to be healing, so healing. And it's also going to represent our endings and new growth. And it's about new growth and how can we grow from where we're at, right? We people who are not awakened, we're pushed into the awakening. I just missed that. Hold on. Oh, okay. Bajker Volta says, will people who are not awakened be pushed into awakening? They are already. And the ones who are not awakened, who are open to awakening, absolutely will be pushed into awakening and are already doing so. The ones that are not open to awakening will probably not be pushed into it, because we can't affect free will, and no guide or angelic being or multidimensional being can really affect free will. Hey Kiwi, how are you? Hey Denise, good to see you. Denise says feeling the energy too of the subconscious coming up. Absolutely. Standing Champion says the moon is very important. Absolutely. And I'm so glad you guys are feeling that energy. Okay, so let's get back to it. Now, on top of this, we want to really accept our deepest needs. That's how we're going to figure out what we need to let go of and what we need to hold on to. Are the things that we are wanting and are experiencing, are they compatible with our deepest needs? So this can be a way to identify what to let go of and what to stay with. So maybe this can be a journaling experience for you, where you meditate and you really journal about what your deepest needs are. What are your deal breakers, your things that you won't sway on? I did a video on IGTV on Instagram yesterday about not swaying on the energy that you know you can't sway on. For me, I don't sway on leading with love. Nothing can sway me out of me leading with love or having love in my heart, right? Some people, it's positivity, right? And for me, I try to do that, but it's not always as strong as my love center. So being positive, some people just won't sway on it. No matter how many times they get made fun of for always being the positive one, they're just not going to sway on that, right? On your passion, your dream, a lot of people don't sway on that, no matter what kind of outside influence is trying to alter their belief about it. So it's about not swaying on things and finding out what those things that you won't sway on are, so that you can identify them. So accept your deepest needs, clear obsessions, clear needs for power, clear needs for control, and clear any general destructiveness with this Scorpio full moon. We have a lot of that energy available to us because of the Scorpio energy and the Pluto energy. It is a lot of transformation and a lot of depth and a lot of heavy energy here and there, and kind of shadowy in a way. So we want to make sure that we don't surrender to that shadowy aspect. And sometimes when we're obsessive, or we're needing power or control, or we're having any general destructiveness, that's us kind of starting to surrender to that shadow aspect and not actually learning the true lesson and light of this moon. So make sure that you watch yourself on any actions that might be alluding to that kind of behavior or energy. Also, soul contract clearing and cord cutting is huge for this full moon, okay? This is really important. So soul contract clearing, what is that? Well, we all come into this experience, our life, our carnations, with soul contracts with other people that incarnate in the same time as we do, and also with other energies and guides that we have that are gonna help us through certain things and help us move through and navigate and clear certain energies. Also with people who we experience that are here to teach us things about ourselves, or to teach us lessons, or for us to help or serve, that we signed an agreement to help or serve before we came in here. So we have soul contracts. We also have soul contracts with lovers, relationships, family members, sometimes coworkers that are really significant in your life. And usually you know that you have a soul contract with someone because you feel a deeper meaning to the relationship. It's deeper than most relationships. You just have this deep understanding and clarity that you've either met this person before, or you just have a familiarity to them, or you just have a deep understanding that you're meant to do something for them, or they're meant to do something for you, and that you need to connect with them in order to have that accomplished. So these are soul contracts, and we all have them in various different ways. And it's important that the soul contracts that we feel like we have completed, many of them we've completed, many of them we have allowed ourselves to experience the things that we needed to with that person or guide that would allow it to be released, to end that assignment, right? And so For instance, if you have a soul contract with your mother, your mother has decided to birth you, right? Her spirit has decided to be your mother and birth you. That's a soul contract. Now, if your mother was only meant to just birth you into this world, then your soul contract may be already complete with your mom. If you were meant to learn more from your mom in addition to her birthing you for certain reasons, then there can be part of it as well. And you'll usually kind of understand that, and you'll work through a lot of things to do so. You'll kind of know, oh, my job isn't done with her yet, right? And so there's a lot of times, especially with relationships, coworkers, sometimes family members, friends, and even spirit guides that are temporary soul contracts in which we've already learned the lesson we need to learn from them. We've already grown in the way we needed to grow from them. And now they're no longer doing anything to add to that growth or add to that positive shift. Instead, everything's just kind of stagnant and still, and it's not really actually moving anywhere. When you notice that stagnance in a relationship, a friendship, a coworker, whatever it is, and you feel like, you know what, I feel like I did my job with them. I feel like I gave them this information. They received it. Now they're going and doing another thing. And I feel like I'm not really resonant with them anymore. We're in different places. We've outgrown each other, right? That's kind of where that comes from. That outgrown each other is an ending of a soul contract. So be aware of any soul contracts that you have found that are ending or that you can see if are ending. Go ahead and go into a meditation and meditate on your soul contracts and see what comes up. Ask your higher self and your guides to bring you awareness on your soul contracts and to let you know what contracts are still active, how they're active, what maybe your guides will give you an understanding of what you're supposed to do for each other in that contract, what you guys agreed upon, so that you know what it is you're doing in that relationship or friendship or experience. And then if not, then see if you're ready to clear it. Ask your higher self, are there any soul contracts that need to be released, that need to be canceled, or that are no longer for my highest good? Let's clear those away. That is so transformative. And I'm getting chills just feeling it. I know you guys are probably feeling it too. There's this sense of real deep need to clear these soul contracts, to open more capacity for new energy and new creation of our own path to be realized. So cord cutting as well is another part of this. Cord cutting cords from people that are pulling energy from you, or people that are attaching to your energy without your permission, or that are no longer, that maybe you've given permission to them before, but now you still feel drained by them. You still feel like they're still pulling at your energy. You can cut those cords, okay? So if you're feeling like you need this kind of clearing, a soul contract clearing or a cord cutting, and you feel like you're having a hard time doing it yourself, I want you and I encourage you to try to do it yourself, because I think that's the most important thing to try to learn. But if you feel like you really need to get that cleared, or you need to get more clarity on that, or you're having a hard time tapping in, please message me, because this is so important for us to all do as a collective, because it's going to raise all of our vibration, which is ultimately going to raise the entire humanity's vibration. So we want to really be of service for each other. So I'm going to just offer a cord cutting and soul contract clearing for really inexpensive. I'm going to do $60 for this whole ceremony. We'll do a whole meditation, guided meditation. I'll do some energy work on you to make sure that those contracts are clear and the cord cutting is done. And it's that. I just want to do that. I just feel like it's important. I just got called to offer that. So if anybody feels called to that, just message me, readingsbyrissa@gmail.com or at readingsbyrissa on Instagram, and we'll do a cord cutting or soul contract ceremony where we'll figure out what soul contracts need to be cut or canceled, what cords need to be cut or canceled, and allow yourself to feel some energetic relief and energetic activation from that release. And we'll fill you up with some good energy to kind of replace that sense of release, okay? So message me if you're interested in that $60 cord cutting or soul contract clearing. All right, additional energy for the full moon before we go into some signs and cards. Heightened sensitivity and heightened emotions are going to be big as well. Scorpio is a water sign, and it's all about sensitivity and emotions. So expect your emotions to be a little bit out of control, or a little bit up and down, or just a little bit more sensitive. If you're an empath, you're probably going to be really sensitive during this full moon. So make sure you go around people that you know are feeling good and that you know are positive, because if you go around a lot of people that aren't feeling that great, you're going to start feeling their energy really easily. if you do have to go into a situation like that, just do a simple meditation where you ask for a ring of light around you, a protective orb of light to keep the energy that doesn't serve you out of your experience and out of your aura in that situation or whatever you're walking into. And that can be a really great way to cleanse and clear and keep up a nice barrier of protection for any of that energy seeping in. Okay, also, Venus is conjuncting Uranus today, and Uranus is still in Taurus until April 2026, which is really a big shift. And so we're feeling Uranus's higher mind energy meeting that Taurus earth energy, and it's conjuncting Venus with that love and family aspect and focus. And so that's allowing us to have new opportunities for abundance and also new opportunities for love and family growth. So if you're trying to start a family, or you're trying to grow your family, or trying to conceive a child, this can be a really great moon to try to conceive. And also this is a great time for us to just feel into our family connections, our love connections, and new opportunities for abundance in that way. How can we grow in those relationships? And then we also have a lot of sensuality from Scorpio. So this is going to allow us to have a nice romantic filter over everything. So despite all the transformation and letting go and release, we're also going to feel that kind of heart-opening essence, that sensual essence, that connected and an intimate aspect of ourself opening up. And this can cause a lot of emotional release, a lot of emotional purging, like crying and weeping and clearing away energy. Make sure you don't hold any of that back. Let it out, because it has to come up to come out. And anything from that under the surface, that subconscious, or anything under the surface in our energy needs to come up to come out. So make sure you're allowing yourself to be emotional when you need to, and to really clear emotions that you feel are causing you some trouble. Okay, so let me see if there's any additional messages here that you guys have written. Oh, Diary of Her Mind says yes. Diary of Her Mind says, I reincarnated with my mom. We were murdered in a past life. Yeah, so a lot of us have memories of our carnations with our family members as well, which can be really helpful in understanding our soul contracts with them. And then Botched Curse says, how about someone coming back to your life to wake up? Yes, absolutely. A lot of people come back to us in other lives to be taught by us and to be guided by us to wake up and to ascend and to learn about that kind of energy. And in fact, I'm doing that for all of you, right? So I'm sure that we've all had some past life experiences or some kind of connections before where we just knew we would be resonant with each other. And I'm sure a lot of you have taught me a lot of things in past lives. And so I'm returning the favor with service. All right. So everybody's feeling good. I just wanted to check in with everyone. Leslie says, yes, I'm a crybaby now. Totally okay. Yes, purge those lingering energies like Diary of Her Mind says. And Josie says, do you conduct readings? Yes, I'm doing a reading right now for the full moon, and I do personal readings as well. I do general readings over work, love, family life, and spiritual growth. I do mediumship, past life readings, cleansings, and then I'm also doing, like I said, this cord cutting and soul contract clearing ceremonies for people who are interested for a limited time. I'm not going to do this for a long time. I might add those to my list of services if you guys really think that would be helpful. That way, anytime you need a cord cutting or a soul contract clearing, you can do it from me. But I was just called to do that today in my meditation. My guides were like, you need to offer this and offer it at a rate that's affordable and less than your other readings. So $60, okay? All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and get into some channeled messages for each of the zodiacs. I'm going to go over each of the zodiacs, and I'm just going to allow my higher self to channel through on any messages about what it is that these specific zodiac signs can do to navigate this full moon even more efficiently, okay? So we're going to start with some deep breaths for all of us to just connect and be able to connect with our own higher selves so that we can feel the collective of energy and our purest positive potential as a collective energetically. So let's go ahead and just get nice and relaxed. And this is a great way to tap into the full moon as well with a brief meditation. So you can do this as well later on under the full moon when you're alone and experiencing it. So let's go ahead and take a nice deep breath in. Big breath out to relax. Another deep breath in, full of love and gratitude for this full moon energy. Big breath to relax into the full moon of Scorpio. Another deep breath in, biggest one yet. Opening up to all the messages and energy of the Scorpio full moon. With a big exhale to relax. Okay, connecting first to the water signs, Scorpios, Cancers, and Pisces. Scorpios, Cancers, and Pisces, you are connecting to your divinity through emotional charge and understanding, emotional output and input. Water signs, you have a clear understanding of how you receive emotions, what experiences trigger certain emotions, and how they transform within your body to be expressed in that way. You also have the ability, water signs, to see in which you express your emotions, to understand the ways in which you allow those emotions that have transformed and created in your body to be released and spread throughout the world through others that you encounter. This is incredibly important, water signs, for you to understand the intellectual aspects, the scientific aspects of your emotional energy, knowing that your input is equally as important as your output, and that it is important for you to be able to balance both and control both and filter both in the ways necessary so that you are not confused or that you do not misunderstand or misrepresent any emotions that are translated and input or output in your being. Essentially, when you experience something, you experience it within your body through vibration, and that vibration is translated into a emotion that is created within the heart space from that vibratory experience within the body. Therefore, you have complete control once this vibration hits your heart space to decide whether that vibration is one that will create a negative emotion or a positive emotion. This is the science of input that I am speaking of that will allow you to be more in tune with the way in which you then create the emotion and ultimately express it, so that the only output that you give is one that is of positive love and light, because you have taken a conscious understanding and attention to the filter within your heart to choose which energy comes forth. That is for the water signs, Cancers, Pisces, and Scorpios. Okay, fire signs up next, Sagittarius, Leos, and Aries. Fire signs, take heed in that you are creating and activating new energy for the masses. Fire signs, you are a part of the electrical activations, the energetic activations, the lightning-like activations that are occurring within the universe and on the planet. You are part of the ways in which these electrical energies and aspects of transformation are spreading throughout the planet, and you are allowing these electrical activations that ultimately provide new growth and energy and new awakening and consciousness in humanity and the beings on this planet. You are a part of that, fire signs, and your rapid movement, your ability to stay focused, your stubbornness to stand your ground on that which is of your heart and of your passion is what helps to fuel this energy and spread it potently and purely across the masses as it needs to. There is much consciousness that is needed for this activation to stay pure. Know, fire signs, that it is important for you to manage any of the overzealous stubbornness, need to control, or egoic ways in which you may express this sense of electrical activation that you have within your spirit when you are speaking to others or interacting with others about something that you are passionate about or know very clearly in your heart to be true. Be sure to provide a aspect and balance of grace that will lace your communications and energy so that this electrical activation can stay pure and does not become infiltrated by egoic or out of balance emotions within your body that could contaminate it. Keep the stubbornness to the light and love, and allow yourself to not bend on the light and love that you exude. That is for your fire signs: Sagittarius, Leos, and Aries. Okay, moving on to the earth signs: Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, your earth is quaking. Your earth is quaking. Your earth energy is starting to rumble. Your foundation, your sense of self, your security of your experience is starting to shift and to break away from beneath you. Know that this is not a time to be afraid. Instead, this is a time to surrender to the unveiling of what lies beneath the surface, to allow yourself to slip through the cracks of that quaking earth and dive deep into the core of your being so that you may realize and understand what it is that is deep within you that must be activated and expressed for you to reach your purest positive potential here and now. Earth signs, you are waking up at rapid pace, and many of you who are already awake are assisting your other signs and earth signs to waken as well. With this, there is much change in relationships, change in friendships, change in thoughts and thought patterns, behaviors, and experience and circumstances. This feeling of chaos and abrupt and destructive change will renew your life in ways that are unfathomable to you now, but will be your purest positive potential and in honor of your highest good and the good of all. Trust that, earth signs, and know that you have the strength to dive deeper and surrender without fear or doubt or judgment, and completely allow yourself to be consumed by this beautiful transformation of your world as you know it. It will reveal a brighter, more beautiful, more expansive, more potential and more potentialized aspect of reality for you. That is the earth signs. I keep getting all these itches on my face. Okay. Whew. Going into air signs, I hope you guys are all still with me. I'm getting like really deep in my channeling today, but it's probably because I'm fasting, so. Okay, air signs, last ones. Air signs: Geminis, Libras, Aquarius. Air signs, you are finding ways to expand past your normal limitations, past the limitations of your body, past the seeming limitations of your mind. All the limitations you experience and have experienced are illusionary, and you are now experiencing the expansion past the boundaries that you always wanted to feel, air signs. You are expanding in each direction in every way, lifting up to new heights and reaching out to new edges of existence. You are allowing yourself to travel to new planes, astral planes, cosmic planes, the ability to see brighter stars and new guides. You are traveling, air signs. Remind yourself of the importance to ground during this travel, to maintain a vibrational alignment with the earth, to understand that nature will anchor you to Mother Earth so that you can travel farther, that the grounding aspect that is needed will allow you to feel even more physically active in these other planes and in the heights that you are reaching and the expansiveness that you experience, air signs. It is all within you, and the grounding is important. Make sure to anchor into the earth and also anchor into those signs around you who are more grounded and can help you make sense of the experiences that you have so that you truly get the most out of these understandings, downloads, and transformations and travels that you are encountering. As for the air signs, so let's take a nice deep breath in. Big breath out to relax. Another deep breath in, full of love and gratitude to these messages that have come forth. Big breath out as a collective to relax and love and light together. Next inhale, biggest one yet, integrating and anchoring all of these messages and energies into our being for the full moon experience to be pure and full. With a big breath out, fully to relax. Waking yourself back up so we can pull some cards. How's everybody feeling? Let me know if you're still with me. That was a lot. So exciting. I'm going to pull some cards for the full moon. Lots of energy coming forth for all of you there. And you may be a little zenned out like I am because I'm not all the way back in my body yet, but it feels good. Brianna Quinn says, that was amazing. Good. I'm so glad you enjoyed. And you guys, if you're in the Arizona area, if you're near Arizona or you know anybody who's in Arizona, I'm in Arizona and I'm doing an event tonight called Channel and Chill where I'll be doing exactly what I just did right now, except I'll be doing it one-on-one with people, well, as a collective, whoever shows up, but then they'll also be able to ask questions while I'm channeling. And yeah, so we're doing a Channel and Chill event tonight at 7 p.m. in Scottsdale. So if you're in Arizona, definitely come check it out. Email me for details. I'll put the flyer up on the community section of this page as well of our channel so that you can see it. And I'm pulling 3 cards for whatever reason. I think because we've got this life, death, and rebirth energy going on. And everybody says they're feeling good and grateful. Leslie Sells feeling good and grateful. Entry fee, Josie, is $20. $20, only $20 at the door at Abundant Space in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's over by kind of Old Town area, but just outside of that. I hope to see you there, Josie. Absolutely. I hope if you're in Arizona, it'd be so great to see you. All right, so let's see what these cards say. And Denise says, that sounds like fun. Wish I could be there. Sending love and light from Houston. Yes, I really want to travel, you guys. I'm hoping to be able to join and travel. I want to travel to different places. I want to travel to Houston. I want to travel to California. I want to do events in Texas and New York and Chicago and Florida. So if you guys have a group of spiritualists or people or communities out there that would want me to come channel messages, I am absolutely open to traveling. I just need to have a landing pad. I just need to have somewhere that I can hold the event that is open to having me there. And, you know, I'll figure out a way over there. You know, some people that'll buy tickets so I can figure out my travel expenses and we'll be good to go. So I would love to do that. It's something that I've really wanted to do, to start doing more channelings and events around outside of Arizona as well. Oh, cool, Josie, you're in East Phoenix. That's awesome. Michelle C says, just joining and missing the goodness. Newbie here. Nice to see you, Newbie. So glad to see you. Thank you for joining. And that's okay. You can rewind. You can watch this back. It's going to be all good. You'll be able to tap in with us still anyway. That's why we do it. We tap in as a mass collective, but we're also tapping into all the people and with all the people that show up later on that don't show up live. All right. I'm just reading you guys this messages. Josie says, I was bumping your song, set me free. Thank you. Oh, you work at Sprouts. Nice. Oh, yeah, I do recall you. Now I know who you are. I got you. So cool. Thanks for joining. All right, let's see the cards, guys. Let's figure out what we got here. So, first card for the new moon, for the full moon in Scorpio. Synchronicity. Synchronicity. What a powerful card, and what a important message. Synchronicity. It's all about understanding that we are tapping into our synchronicity, that we are experiencing synchronicity right now in this full moon. There's a reason why you were called to watch this full moon reading. There's a reason why you were able to receive this message right now, right here, so that you can use this understanding and this synchronicity, and so that you can pay attention to the signs. And then also, you've probably received a ton of other signs and synchronicities throughout your entire experience in your spiritual growth, and specifically this week in this full moon, to understand how to move forward in it, knowing what to let go of and what not to, what to dive deeper into, what guides are guiding you in that way, what soul contracts you have. These are going to be revealed through synchronicities for deeper understanding. And the message on the card, because I know you guys can't really see it that well, it says, are you noticing the signs of synchronicity that the spirit world has been sending to you at this time? People and situations in your life are not just appearing by coincidence. In reality, they're being guided to you from the spirit world to help you for a specific reason. So all about those soul contracts like we were talking about. You can't write that, right? Right on point. Next card, Archangel Haniel with hope. Reminding us to stay hopeful, understanding that if we have hope in our heart for change and new beginnings, that will happen. And that even though we might have to let go of some things or go through some hardships to get there, that hope will carry us through, and that purity of that hope will rise us to new levels of achievement and spiritual growth. And to also connect to your root chakra for this full moon, grounding into earth. Your root chakra is at the base of your spine, and it's about your individuality, your support of yourself, your sense of security, standing your ground, not swaying on things that you know that are true to you. Going back to that message as well, and staying hopeful that you will receive the alignment to your path by doing so. And last card, proper burial for freedom, it says. Proper burial for freedom. It says, there is nothing to be gained and everything to be lost by trying to hold on to that which no longer serves us. Ooh, message. One more time. There is nothing to be gained and everything to be lost by trying to hold on to that which no longer serves us. That's a huge one. Osiris, Lord of the Dead, guides you now to release that which no longer needs to be a part of your life so that you may be free. This is all about that soul contracts, releasing the soul contracts and cutting the cords that are holding you back from your purest positive potential so that you can be free. And Osiris, Lord of the Dead, is going to allow us to release that. So you can call on that guide, Osiris, Egyptian Osiris, the Egyptian god Osiris, to help release those soul contracts and help release those cords. Also, like I said, I'm doing those cord cutting ceremonies and soul contract clearing because I just feel like it's super important for everybody. So if you're feeling like you're holding on to stuff that no longer serves you, it's time to let go. And it's no coincidence that it says the Lord of the Dead, and it talks about death, because Scorpio and Pluto both are about endings and death and rebirth. So on the other side of that death of the relationship, death of experience, death of perspective, death of triggers or traumas, things that you're letting go of, at the end of that, you are going to be reborn. You are going to be free. Okay? So that's what this full moon is offering us, the opportunity to become free through the synchronicities that lead us to understanding what contracts and what things we need to let go of and where we need to move forward in, to understanding that through hope and purity of intention and reality and truth within our spirit, and not swaying on that truth that we know and hold as our truth, that we will then find our complete freedom, our complete ability to release anything that does not serve us so that we can rise up to our true potential and get what we deserve, get what we want. Okay? So 48 minutes long, but good reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I love you all. Let me see if there's anything that I missed from you guys. You guys are talking to each other. I love that. Thank you so much for continuing to converse to each other and to help each other. I see Leslie and Josie talking. That's so beautiful, to help healing for Josie. Absolutely so important that we are here for each other and that we're supporting each other and that we are connected as one in this mass consciousness. That's why I created this channel, you guys. I wanted a place for us all from all sorts of places, all different states and countries, to be able to come together on YouTube every week, every couple of weeks for a new moon, and be able to connect and talk about what we're going through, how we can navigate out of it, how we can support each other, and how we can love ourselves through it. So I'm so, so, so happy. I'm getting all these chills. I feel so good just to see that that's happening. Thank you so much for helping my dream come true for this channel and continuing that energy going. Denise says, yes, we'd love to have you. Me and my boyfriend are starting a new project and creating a podcast. I'll reach out once we begin. Yes, please reach out. I would love to be a part of that. Thank you all for being here. I love you. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful full moon. I'm so proud of you all for releasing the emotions you need to clear and rise to new levels. I'm here for you if you need cord cutting or soul contract clearing. rissavibes@gmail.com is one of my emails, or you can do readingsbyrissa@gmail.com or at Readings by Rissa on Instagram to sign up for a personal reading or a one-on-one. And I'll see you tonight if you're in Arizona for a live Channel and Chill event and in Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm forgetting all my announcements. It's okay. And tomorrow, a new weekly reading so we can tap in again together. Another nice connection tomorrow where we can talk about the energy to look forward to all this upcoming week, astrology, numerology, cards, and spirit messages, all going on tomorrow live right here, 1:11 p.m. Central Time. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you tap the bell for notifications so that you know when I go live and that we can stay connected. I love you. Have a wonderful day.